I've been sitting with this case for 3 months now. I keep coming back to one photograph, a wedding portrait. According to available records, October 1929, Theodosia Brandes stands beside her new husband, Charles. Documents indicate she was 23 years old. Dark hair pinned beneath a lace veil. A borrowed necklace catches the light. Her smile is careful, practiced even, the kind brides wear when they're still learning how their new name sounds. 8 days later, she was dead. The police report says she fell from a hotel window in Pittsburgh, the 6th floor. Officers found her body on the pavement at 2:47 in the morning. No witnesses, no suicide note. Her husband was asleep in their suite when it happened. That's the official record. That's what the city filed away. A coroner's supplemental report tells a different story, filed 9 days after her death. Stamped, confidential, not for public record. I found it in a box that hadn't been opened in 80 years. Page 3 changes everything about how Theodosia Brandes died. The record shows this much. According to available records, Theodosia Brandes was born Theodosia Crane in Youngstown, Ohio in 1906. Middle child. Father worked the steel mills. Mother took in laundry. Nothing remarkable about her childhood. Nothing that predicted where she'd end up. Theodosia had ambitions. She finished high school. Documents indicate she moved to Pittsburgh in 1925. Got work as a typist at a legal firm, then as a secretary at a brokerage house. She climbed, quietly, deliberately. Charles Brandes found her in 1928, 12 years her senior. A partner at Brandes & Morrison, an investment company that rode the market surge. He had money, he had standing. According to one society column from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, he had a reputation for discretion in all matters except his taste for younger women. Records show they married on October 12, 1929. Small ceremony, immediate family only, Charles insisted. He didn't want the attention, he said. The market was volatile. Better to keep things quiet. 17 days later, the stock market crashed. Theodosia never lived to see Black Tuesday. According to the official record, she died on October 20th, 8 days after her wedding. 2 weeks before the world she'd married into collapsed. The police investigation lasted 4 days. The coroner ruled suicide. Case closed. Her family never accepted it. Her sister Martha wrote letters for decades, to the police, to the mayor's office, to newspapers, insisting Theodosia would never have taken her own life. Never. I've read those letters. Documents indicate 47 of them, archived at the Pennsylvania Historical Society. I couldn't find a response anywhere. I drove to Pittsburgh last month. The hotel where Theodosia died still stands, though it's been renamed and renovated 3 times since 1929. The building remembers nothing. Buildings never do. Records survive. The original police file was thin. 4 pages of witness statements, a 1-page coroner's summary, and a single photograph of the window. I pulled it from the city archives. It told me almost nothing. So I went looking for what wasn't in the file. According to available records, the coroner in 1929 was Dr. Elias Whitman. His professional papers were donated to the University of Pittsburgh after his death in 1961. Most of it is medical research, autopsy procedures, toxicology notes, buried in the 3rd box, misfiled under miscellaneous correspondence. I found his personal case journals. He kept detailed notes on deaths that troubled him. Deaths he couldn't explain to his own satisfaction. Deaths that kept him awake. Theodosia Brandes has 4 pages. Here's what Dr. Whitman wrote that never made it into the official report. The injuries are consistent with a fall from height, but several details give me pause. The victim's fingernails were broken on both hands, not from impact but from tearing. Skin was found beneath 3 nails. The window frame showed scratches inconsistent with routine wear. He continues, I raised these concerns with Detective Morrison. He instructed me to focus on cause of death, not circumstance. The husband is a man of means. The case is to be closed expeditiously. Why would a woman jumping from a window have skin under her fingernails? Who was she fighting? I pulled Charles Brandes' statement from the police file. Brief. He says he went to bed at 11 p.m. He woke at 3 a.m. when police knocked on his door. He had no idea his wife had left the bed. No idea she'd gone to the window. No idea she was contemplating suicide. I didn't know what happened to Charles after Theodosia's death. Then I found out. Documents indicate he remarried in 1931. A woman named Lucille Warren, 24 years old. They divorced 18 months later. Court records cite extreme cruelty. He married again in 1934. Dorothy Hale, 22 years old. 2 years later, same window, same fall, same husband standing over the body. I called the Philadelphia Police Department where Charles had relocated. They couldn't find the file. No one could explain why. I tried the coroner's office. Nothing. I did find this. According to available records, a newspaper clipping from the Philadelphia Inquirer dated November 1936. 3 paragraphs naming Dorothy Brandes, née Hale, as the victim of a tragic accident. No investigation mentioned, no follow-up coverage. 2 wives, 2 falls, 2 closed cases. I've seen this pattern before. When a man's wives keep dying the same way, we call it coincidence exactly once. I'm not here to convict a dead man in a YouTube video. Records indicate Charles Brandes died in 1952. He took whatever he knew with him. I'm here to understand what happened to Theodosia. The deeper I went, the less sense it made. There's a second document in Dr. Whitman's papers. A letter he wrote to himself, never sent, dated November 2nd, 1929. I have examined my conscience. I signed the death certificate as instructed, but I know what I saw. The woman did not jump. She was thrown. I cannot prove this, but I know it, and I will carry that knowledge until I die. He did. 32 more years. No one ever asked him. I thought I had the shape of this. Controlling husband, young wife, a pattern of violence masked by social position. A coroner who knew the truth but couldn't speak it. Then I found the photograph. It was in Martha Crane's letters. The 43rd one, dated 1962. She'd enclosed a picture she'd kept for 33 years. Theodosia's wedding day. The same portrait I started with. But this was the full frame, not the cropped version that appeared in newspapers. In the complete image, you can see the edge of the room, a window behind them, and on the windowsill, barely visible, a bottle. Reports suggest the label reads Dr. Kilmer's Swamp Root, a patent medicine, common in that era, also known to contain significant amounts of alcohol, and in some formulations, opiates. Martha's letter explains, she was taking it for her nerves. Charles gave it to her. He said it would help her sleep. One detail keeps pulling me back. The night Theodosia died, the hotel's front desk received a call from Charles Brandes at 1:15 a.m. He asked for more ice. The night clerk brought it up. He noted that Mrs. Brandes seemed unwell, his word, and was lying on the bed unresponsive. 90 minutes later, she was dead on the pavement 6 floors down. Charles said he was asleep when she fell, but he was awake at 1:15, awake enough to call for ice, awake enough to answer the door. Why did he lie? I've been over this 100 times. Here's where I land. The official story, suicide, requires us to believe that a 23-year-old woman, 8 days into her marriage, walked to a 6th-floor window in the middle of the night and threw herself out. No note, no warning, no history of mental illness in her family or medical records. The evidence doesn't support it. The scratched window frame, the skin under her fingernails, the coroner's private doubts, the husband's inconsistent timeline. The alternative, that Charles Brandes murdered his wife, requires us to believe that a well-connected investment partner killed a woman in a hotel room, that police and the coroner helped cover it up, and that he did it again 7 years later to a different wife. I can't prove this, but I can't ignore it. Dr. Whitman believed someone threw Theodosia from that window. He put it in writing. Men with more power overruled him. The investigation closed in 4 days. Charles Brandes had opportunity. He was in the room. He was awake 90 minutes before her death. He had access to sedatives. He remarried twice. His second wife died the same way. We don't know whether anyone else was in that room, whether Theodosia had reason to fear her husband before the wedding, whether anyone tried to warn her. Martha Crane believed her sister was murdered. She spent 40 years saying so. No one listened. Dr. Whitman believed the same thing. He spent 32 years carrying that belief in silence. When the system that was supposed to protect Theodosia Brandes failed her. Not once, but repeatedly. Police who closed the case. A coroner who signed what he was told to sign. Newspapers that printed 3 paragraphs and moved on. I don't have evidence that would convict anyone. I have a pattern. I have a dead coroner's private notes. I have a sister's grief preserved in 47 letters. The official story is wrong. I'm looking at the photograph again, the full frame. Theodosia Brandes on her wedding day. Her smile is still careful, still practiced, but now I see something else in it. Something around the eyes, the way her shoulder pulls slightly away from the man beside her. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I've read too many files. Maybe I want to see a warning that wasn't there. Or maybe Theodosia knew even then that she'd made a mistake she couldn't undo. 8 days later, she was dead. Her body broken on a Pittsburgh street. Her husband asleep, or so he said, in the room above. I don't know what happened to Theodosia Brandes. I'm not sure anyone does. The men who might have known are dead. The evidence is 90 years cold. The truth is buried under silence and paper and time. I know what Dr. Whitman believed, and I know what Martha Crane spent her life trying to tell anyone who would listen. A woman does not claw at a window frame if she wants to fall. A woman does not have skin under her fingernails if she is not fighting someone. A man does not lose 2 wives to the same death by coincidence. The case closed in 1929. I don't think it should have been. Theodosia Brandes was married for 8 days. She was 23 years old. And somewhere in the space between her wedding portrait and her death, something happened that the world decided not to see. I'm still looking.